Good day, everybody. This is Will Laurier again, and I'm here to walk you through the Angoff check set number 2. Question 1 asks about the meaning of making Angoff ratings. You think that the borderline candidate moving into level 1 can answer the item correctly. Where must you place a yes rating? Well, you definitely need to place a rating under the 1+ column. Question 2 is about p-values. You were introduced to the concept of p-values. What do they mean? Well, there's two options here. One is the proportion of all borderline candidates for a specific level who took the item and answered the item correctly. The other one is the proportion of all persons in the tested population expected to get the item, to answer the item correctly. The answer is B. The reason it's not A is because the p-value is not about the borderline candidates. It's actually about everybody in the tested population. So what does a p-value of 0.84 mean? It means that 84% of the persons in the tested population would get the item correct. So if 84% are getting the item correct, is it a difficult item? It's actually not difficult at all. It's a relatively easy item. Question 4 is about the ILR level of an item. In round 2, you were presented with ILR level information about an item. So what does the ILR level of an item represent? Well, there are three choices here. The first is the item's characteristics in terms of the ILR scale, where specifically the item is located on the test scale, and the item's measured difficulty. B and C are incorrect. The ILR level of an item represents the item's characteristics in terms of the ILR scale. It doesn't tell you anything about specifically where the item is located on the test scale, and it certainly doesn't tell you the item's measured difficulty. Here is a situation where the ILR level of an item was given to you. It's shown to be rated at 0+, but you believe that the borderline level 1 candidate would not be able to answer the item correctly. What could your rating form look like? Okay. If you believe that the borderline level 1 candidate would not be able to answer the item correctly, then your rating form should not have a yes in the 1 column. It should have a no. It could look like this. Please indicate which statement is true. Let's look at A. Items with low ILR ratings tend to have low p-values. A low ILR rating, let's say a 0+, would that item have a low p-value? Well, that item's p-value would probably be higher, tend to be higher, because more people would get the item correct. So the p-value would be closer, it would be high, like 0.8 or 0.9. Items that are low on the ILR rating scale would tend to have low p-value, high p-values. The second statement, an item's ILR rating and the standard setting rating have to agree. Absolutely not. They do not have to agree. They are about different things. What different things? Well, it says here, it's stated here in option C. The item's ILR rating reflects item characteristics, and the standard setting rating reflects performance expectations. Those are two different things. They are related, but they still are two distinct things. The answer is C. Let's suppose that in your Angoff worksheet in round 1, you indicated for an item that the borderline level 0+ candidate should get the item correct. You now see that this item, let's call it X, has an ILR level of 1 and a p-value of 0.3. Well, what does the ILR level of 1 mean for this item? Does it mean that the item is relatively easy on the VLR scale? Well, actually, it's in the middle of the VLR scale. Does it mean that an expert rater believes the item best matches the level 1 ILR description? Yes, that's exactly what ILR level 1 means. Does it mean that the borderline level 1 candidate should get this item correct? Not necessarily. That is a judgment that a standard setting rater might make. Question 8. After considering the new information on item X, are you required to change your rating? Absolutely not. You can consider the information, but you are not required to change your rating. Thank you very much. I hope this presentation has been helpful. If you have additional questions about this check set, please write to the helpline email address. Thank you.